This video explains how to purchase a voucher through uLearnAthletics.com. So the first thing you need to do is you need to log in to the site. And at this point you want to click on the voucher section at the top of the screen. So when you get to this screen, please read the details fully. This basically explains that you can purchase a voucher on behalf of another individual, but before you do so you need to know that the correct organisation running the event. So that is the organisation, either England Athletics, Scottish Athletics, Welsh Athletics, Athletics Northern Ireland or British Athletics that are running the qualification or the CPD event that you're looking for. How do you know which organisation is running it? It's really simple. Let's say if I look at CPD events and I look at the European Speed Conference, you will know what event's who it's being run by, because it says here in this massive banner at the top of the screen, this is British Athletics, it's being run by British Athletics, this is the phone number you can contact them with, and this is their website. So that's how you know who is running the event. So let's go back to the vouchers code page. So you need to know what the correct organisation is running the event. You also need to know the correct cost of the event. So again, if I was to go back to European Speed Conference and I wanted to attend for both Saturday and Sunday, that would cost £175. So that would be the cost of the voucher that I want to purchase. Now if there was an additional accommodation on top of this, then I would also need to include that in the cost of the voucher. Now the cost of the accommodation for this event is £125, so that would bring the total to £300. So I'm going to buy a voucher here now for £300. So going back to the vouchers page, I know the organisation I want to buy it from, British Athletics. I know the cost of the event, which is £175 the ticket, plus £125 accommodation, which is a total of £300. Okay, click on the purchase voucher information and you'll come to this screen. At this point, if you have not been granted access to this yet, you need to call your home country. So in this case you need to call British Athletics, and they will provide you with access to this facility. Now if you want to pay by invoice, you need to be an organisation that we are familiar with, so that we will allow you to pay by invoice. If you want to pay by debit card, then it's just a matter of phoning up and we will give you access to that. Okay, so let's say I've called up British Athletics and I've explained to them what I would like to do, and I do indeed belong to a club and I'm affiliated with a club who is going to be able to raise an invoice for me, in which case I'll click on, now the British Athletics logo appears here, so I click on that and I can now click continue. At this point I have to choose between debit card and invoice. I'm going to choose invoice. Also note that there's a £10 administration charge for processing these invoices, and to avoid that I could pay by card, but I want to pay by invoice, so I click continue. At this point I'm taken to this purchase your voucher page. Now here, to make things relatively straightforward, you have a couple of options you can choose. For example, you can choose CPD event, qualification or voucher. This is just a quick way of getting to the cost of the course. So let's say you wanted to buy a qualification, then it would give you the options to purchase and it would give you the cost of that course. Now let's say I chose CPD event and I choose European Speed Conference. Well, it's only going to give me the option of £125 cost, because that's the standard cost for a single day. And in fact I want to buy a voucher for £300, so I need to choose the voucher option. So I choose voucher, and this allows me to specify the exact amount. So I'm going to buy a voucher for £300. Total cost of that transaction will be £300 plus the £10 administration fee, so I'll be invoiced with £310. I need to put the purchase order number from my organisation in. In this case my organisation purchase number is 4 5 zeros and a 1. I'm going to put my invoice address. This is the company's registered address for trading purposes. My company is going to be based out of Loughborough University in Loughborough. I need to put the full information in, LE11 3TU. I want to be sent the invoice by email, and where is the information? Where's the invoice going to be processed? So this is the trading address of the company, but maybe my invoice is going to be processed somewhere else. Let's just imagine that my company is based at the athletics track at Loughborough University, but the invoice is processed in a different building. So instead I'm going to have it processed at a different building at Loughborough University. So that's where the invoice is going to be sent to. This is the trading address of the company. Finally, I need to put an email in there for the club secretary, whoever it is that's going to deal with this, so in case British Athletics need to get in contact with them. So I'm going to put that email in. So the email address I'm going to put in is I need to make sure that both are the same. So now I've put all the information I need for my invoice. I've put the total amount that I wish to purchase the voucher for. I've put the purchase order number, the invoice address for the registered address of the company or the club, the address that the invoice is going to be posted to, or in case of being posted, and email address of an individual related to that. And I click purchase. It tells me the total amount I'm going to be invoiced for, £310. I click checkout. At this point I agree to terms and conditions, check my information, click submit. Now when I click on the vouchers screen again, so at this point there will be the voucher information will appear here. If I click on the details right now, you can see that there's no code because I'm awaiting the invoice. At the point the invoice is received, at that point the voucher code will be released. If you are a big club or a big organisation who have credit with British Athletics, this code will appear automatically immediately upon payment. If not, then we'll have to wait for the invoice to be received before the code will be issued. If you keep coming back to this page, you'll see the progress of that. Remember, it can take 5 or so working days before the invoice is processed after we receive it. Just to show you what a code would look like, come back in here. Let's look at this one here, and you can see this one here was that's the code that was used for it. This is who purchased it, and then this is the person that redeemed it. So you can also track through here who redeemed the voucher that you purchased. So that explains how to purchase vouchers from uLearnAthletics.com.